Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Hood. I am Tanya E. Hood, a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, it simply means I've worn a lot of different hats in my life that have helped me develop a full range of strategies and actionable steps that I've used to help my clients make a strategic impact, both personally and professionally, to have better than what life has been giving them. Red Alert Diaries is based on the life lessons from my premier book, Red Alert. Is He the One? The Pocket Guide to Finding the Love of Your Life. And if you read my book, you already know that I got married at 21. And after 11 years of marriage, I found myself going through a divorce, having to raise my two sons alone. To reset my life and survive my divorce, I took the time I needed to get to know me better, which opened me up to new love again. So now I'm in a new marriage to the love of my life and my best friend, which just proves there is life after divorce. On this podcast, we have conversations that's real talk, marriage, divorce, money, and legacy. And I want you to join me on the journey. Call 240 532 2227. That's 240 532 2227. I want this podcast to challenge your thoughts and inspire you to grow. So together, we can operate in excellence. I wonder, how many of you remember your first day of high school? Remember walking into the auditorium or the gym for some schools? Either way, that introductory meeting that they had everybody go to, you walked in looking around to see who you would become friends with, searching the many faces to see if there was a friendly one in the bunch. And then, while you're contemplating all these things, you see someone with a smile so inviting that you know from this day forth, you all are going to be BFFs. If you've had that experience, then you know what it is like to have an encounter with someone that is supportive and encouraging. And I met someone like that when I was in high school. We went through our journey of high school, going through all the various things that are associated with life, because, in high school, it is major life. The things that is associated with school, new relationships, new discoveries of your body, of yourselves, all the various things that we often forget, that we still encounter when we get older. A lot of people struggle when there's a change, and when they see change, often it puts them in a space of conflict. You don't have to be there. You've already gone through this before and you have survived. How do I know that? Because you're here. So I walked through that experience. And like a lot of individuals, when you find that best friend, you want them to be best friends for life. So when we go through graduation, we often say, we'll keep in touch. But how many of you really do that? Sometimes when we're going through changes, just making certain that you get connected to someone that will be there. I found that someone because we didn't just say goodbye once high school ended and graduation went on about its thing. She became the godmother to my children. She also became my biggest encourager, someone that let me know that I could do this thing called life. And when it got me down and I found myself in the chaos after my divorce, she was the one that showed up at my house and told me, you are better than this. You were made for things greater than this moment right now. So get up, get yourself together, and move through the process. For those of you that have read the book, she's that person that came to me, that gave me that small window to get out of some of the stupidity I was still walking into. Yeah, that person who is naturally supportive, naturally encouraging, that individual that really spurs you on to reach your goals, to satisfy what's happening in your dreams. That person is someone that I think everybody needs in their life. And because I had her in mind, I was able to get myself together, move past the process of the chaos that I found in that 2-bedroom apartment, got me a brand new home, got my degree, move on to get a job that will take care of me and my babies. If you are that person, who does that for you? Who can you go to that can encourage you inspire you, give you the thought process that there is something greater than this moment, and you will get through it. We don't always find an individual like that. So if you are someone that cannot yet find, I encourage you to look, because there is always someone all around in our personal circle that we could possibly find. And if they are not in your personal circle, it's time to expand your circle. And so if you're this person and you can't just figure out right now how to get the encouragement and inspiration that you need, that you give to everybody else, there's a few things I want to share with you that will help you get there. First, be mindful of what's happening right now. You cannot make adjustments or changes for situations that you are not mindful of. Be present in the moment. There's times when you're going through chaos, trauma, and conflict that it is difficult for you to decide to want to be in the moment, because the thing that you are trying to do is to get out of it as fast as possible. But you have to be present. You have to be cognizant. You cannot fix what you are unaware of. So be present in the moment. Assess how you feel. Assess how you got there. For those of you that have been listening for a while, you already know that I did an autopsy on my divorce. That was how I functioned in my present moment. Took the time I needed to see what was going on and how did I get here. That's your step one. Step two, for a lot of individuals that may not be mindful of it, but we all have it, is knowing your conflict sequence. See, this is something that I share with my clients a lot of times because everybody has one. But if you aren't aware of where you are and what stage you're existing in for the situation that you are arriving, it will be difficult. And it will take you far longer than it needs to get out of that chaotic moment. There's 3 stages that I often share. That first stage is knowing, am I okay? Are you okay? Can we get the situation okay? If you can have the wherewithal in the moment, you'll be cognizant that you're in stage 1. And then you will do what you do best. You will pull up your strength of being a supporter. You will pull up your strength of being an encourager. You will pull up your strength of getting everybody on point to move towards the target of whatever that is for you. What is the goal that this situation needs to meet right now for everything to be okay? You have the strength and the know-how to get that done right here, right now. And when you first become cognizant of the moment, you can then be clear about what stage you're in for your conflict sequence. Then if you're like me, my conflict sequence in stage 1 is to analyze. I'm always an individual that analyzes. It's something that I do on a regular basis. And it's also my strength that gives me the ability to be able to help someone get out of their chaotic situation quickly, because I have the natural ability to organize chaos. I analyze what's happening. I put together a plan, a process, or a procedure that will get you to your best direction. I do that on a regular basis. So sometimes I miss my stage 1 and I tumble right through stage 2. Stage 2 for some individuals is flexible. My stage 2 has a flexibility. It depends on the situation that I'm in. If I'm in a situation where things aren't too bad, I can easily navigate that and get back to where I need to be. If I'm in a situation where let's say, in a personal environment, because you do things in your personal space way different than you do in your public space. So on my job, when I reach stage 2, I may have a different response that taps into more of me giving you direction to meet the goal. But in a personal realm, I may use that exact same stage to start screaming and yelling, trying to just push my point through. You know, that type of person where you're in the middle of an argument and they just won't let it go? Yeah, that's me when I reach stage 2. So if I get enough wherewithal that I'm in stage 1, I won't push so hard to make certain that my point is made, because it is in stage 2 that there was a lot of chaos that showed up in my marriage. that caused its demise after 11 years. There's a lot of other things, but if I had been more mindful and if I knew this information then, I could have made things better. I could have moved into the next step of getting whole, getting healed, and moving out of conflict quickly. So that leads me to the next step. If you're aware of what's happening right now, being cognizant of the moment, the here and now, so that you can fully function, or at least get an idea of where you are. That'll give you some idea next, stage 2. Well, step 2 of your conflict stages. So when I recognize what stage I'm in, I have some techniques and tools that I share with my clients that helps you move out of the stage that you have spiraled down so that you can move into a better direction. That is how I've been able to navigate the space of clearing up my credit when it dropped from 736 down to 526. I've also been able to navigate the conflict and move out of the bottom stages so that I can have a better relationship with myself and then have a better relationship with others, which led me to now being in my new marriage, which is almost 12 years strong, y'all. And then the next thing is this third part. This point 3, step 3, forgot where I am, but it's the third thing I want to share with you today. How do you communicate? If you're aware of the moment, if you're aware of the stage, then if you need to be more mindful of how you communicate by gaining some insight about certain words that you can use to support you and support others. Because when I teach this to my clients, I give them sort of a glimpse into the window of the motives and values of the people that they are talking to so that they know which words they can pull up that will share to help them quickly get out of conflict for themselves and for those around them. So let me give you a quick example. If I have spiraled down to stage 2 and I have decided I'm going to push my point, I want you to know this is where we got to go. This is how we'll get to a better direction. And you just won't listen to me. Once I become aware of that, what I can do is say, I need a minute. And for some individuals, when you recognize that, you may need to breathe. Take a breath so that you can pause your thoughts, so that you can calm your feelings. And in that breath, you may need to count. Sometimes counting to 3 is good enough. But if it's a really bad discussion or really bad conflict or really bad situation that is causing you more chaos than you desire, you may need to count to 10. And if you have reached the point that I have often, where I want to press through, you may need to just leave the room. There has been plenty of times that I have learned now that I know how to help myself get out of conflict quickly. I say I need a moment and I walk away. And when you walk away, you do not need to give anybody an explanation. Know without validation that you have the authority to do what you need to keep you whole, and you don't have to explain it to everybody under the sun. Now, when you get out of that moment of chaos, you may want to go back and give some ideas or understanding and insight to the people that you're in conflict with so that they are, one, aware of what's happening and they can be a support system to help you. And so for today, if you are the person that everybody goes to for support, encouragement, the person that is like the cheerleader for everyone around you, helping them reach their goals, helping them be inspired to press through the pain, to press through the process, to get to a better position, you can get out of conflict quickly by being mindful of the 3 things I've shared. Be present in the moment. Know your conflict sequence, and then have the communication that you need to effectively move through the process. And if you're looking for someone to support you through the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and find the various ways that we can work with one another. And if you're on Clubhouse, you can join me every Tuesday in a Red Alert Diaries room where I share insights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We can continue the conversation or we can start a new one. This is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.